So, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Trauma to Triumph Tuesdays. Yes, I have another amazing woman standing by. We're going to talk about how she dealt with trauma and we'll talk about triumph. But before we get started, I want to introduce myself in case there's someone on this live tonight who does not know me. I am Terry Long. I am the woman behind the Trauma to Triumph project. We are going to change the lives of millions of people of all ethnicities, all backgrounds, all age groups. How will we do that? Through the sharing of our powerful testimonies. Our stories heal. I have been healed throughout different moments of my own personal life once I hear the story of how someone else suffered a similar traumatic episode. So I realize now that I'm 52 years old that we could be healing a lot of people and leaving a legacy of wisdom that many people behind us will need. And those are so many people who can't speak up for themselves, or for whatever reason they just won't. Our stories help them. When people can relate and they can connect to trauma that they suffered, and they can see how someone else survived it. Listen, that is sometimes on the same level as mental health therapy. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm not downplaying the need for mental health therapy. What I am saying is that when we share our stories from our hearts, it heals other people. I know that to be true for a fact. So that's what this project is all about. The sharing of our stories to help heal others who may not be able to share their stories. So welcome again. Before we get started, I did put in the comments the Cash App and the PayPal information, because in order to get this project to the next level that is in my dreams and my visions for it, it requires funding. And, with anything magical, a lot goes into it. We still need to do more filming. And once the filming is done, we've got to do post-production. We've got to do editing. We've got to do some branding and marketing to get this project out there to the masses. So all of those things come with a cost. So whatever your contribution might be, as low as $5, I am so super grateful. Listen, when I get those $5 Cash Apps or PayPals, I am just as happy and grateful as when I get the ones for $100. So I am very grateful for the donations that have already come in. So many of you have helped me do the part 1 of filming. I wouldn't have been able to do that without you all. So now I want to ask for your donations continued, because I have to do more filming and all of the other things that we talked about. So without further ado, I'm going to bring into, let me see. Let me make sure she's on here. Let me add her on here to join the live. Just give me 1 second. I'll leave this right here. I think this is your Instagram. Is this it here? Here we go. Did I click the right? I can't see. I should have put my glasses on, you all. Did I click the right one?
Yes.
I'm like, did I click the right one?
Yes.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Hello. How are you? I'm fine.
I'm doing amazing. I'm so grateful for your yes, and I'm very appreciative for your braveness and your courage. I know you had some medical things to tend to earlier today, and you are graciously willing to come on this live tonight with us. And I'm so
Yes.
very grateful for it. And so I'm excited for us to meet, kind of, sort of. I mean, we're not in person, but kind of, sort of. I'm able to
Mm-hmm.
put the face with the name. And
Yes.
so we're all anxiously awaiting to meet you, and let's talk a little bit about your story. I want you to start though by telling people who you are as a woman today. Let's talk about who you are right
Mm-hmm.
now, and then we'll take things back and we'll go down memory lane a little bit.
Okay. Well, I am Tashona Mathis. I am 48 years old. I'm a mom of 4 beautiful children, 2 grandchildren. I'm a fighter, a survivor. I'm also a dialysis warrior, and also a COVID survivor.
Mm. A lot. You've been through a lot. You've been
Yes.
through, definitely been through a lot. So let's take it back. Let's take it back to the first time in life where you feel like trauma entered your life.
Hmm.
But
Um, it probably started when I was younger, around when I was 8. Um, I was molested as a child, and it left me with a whole bunch of trauma. Um, feeling not loved or um, hurt, angry, bitter, um, depressed,
mhm,
um, those things. And then as I got older into my teenager, I started feeling depressed. Still had to feeling with depression and anxiety.
so you were 8 years old. Is that what you said?
Yes.
8
Mhm.
and violated.
Yes.
Did you have anyone to tell to help you through this situation, or was it a situation where you felt like you couldn't?
At first I didn't. I really don't want to talk about that right now, but I did tell several people, and um, no one really did anything about it.
So you carried that trauma, like you said, with you, and then into when you became a teenager.
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
as a teenager, are you able to say, no, we don't want to talk about what happened when you were 8 years old, but did any of this violation continue with you while you were a teenager, or were there other things that started happening to you as you grew into a teenager?
Um, it went on to I turned into a teenager, um, to when I was about 15, and then it stopped. Um, 14 to 15 years old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Wow. I can't even imagine um, being taken advantage of and violated like that off and on, or however frequently it occurred, through my teenage years.
Mhm.
So was there ever a point, let's just say in high school, where you were able to start getting some sort of, like help?
No, I didn't. Like I said, I didn't really tell too many people. I told some church people, but nothing really came out of it. Um, I didn't start getting any help until I got into adulthood, my adulthood life.
Okay, so now we're through high school. Is there anything that you want to talk about or talk us through regarding your high school years?
Mm, I was just really kind of shy. I kept to myself. I had maybe 1 or 2 associates, but other than that, I kept to myself. And I just dealt with depression, really bad depression and
Yeah.
anxiety, and feeling, not worthy, not beautiful, you know, um, just really down on myself.
Do you mind if I ask, at this time, did you have a close relationship with your mom, dad? Did you have siblings?
Yes, I have a close relationship with my sister and my mom.
Okay. Okay. I was wondering about that, with you like dealing with depression. Did they detect that you were depressed?
Mm, they probably did when I was in my teenager years, but growing up with a black family, in the black family, you were always taught to pray about it. you know um you can get over it, just pray about it, and that it was a spiritual battle you was fighting, so
So did that ever make you feel like there's no point in me even saying anything about how depressed I'm feeling or how I'm going through anxiety, because all they're going to say is, you just need to pray about it.
yes, I bottled my feelings up. I just kept it to myself, bottled it up, and just went on, with my regular life.
Wow. Okay, and so you're through high school now. Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, I graduated 12th grade.
Mm-hmm.
um
And then
you know
what?
Like I said, I was really just feeling really down and depressed, and going through the emotion, and it was just like up and down like a roller coaster. And I had my first child at 24, my daughter. She was my miracle baby because the doctors had told me that I couldn't have children.
Mm,
And when I had her, it was like, wow, I have something to love, somebody to love me. So it was. I think that was my blessing in disguise. To slow me down because I was headed down a road of destruction because, like I said, I was really depressed.
wow. And you stayed through went through a state of depression for quite a long time based on what I'm hearing tonight. Your
Yes.
depression wasn't like a short stint,
No, it
right?
was a long time,
A long
a
time.
long
So
process.
you get your miracle baby at 24.
Hmm.
And this time, are you and her dad together, or wasn't that type of situation?
Yes, we were together
Okay.
for 10 years. And then I had my second son 11 months after her. I had
So
my son.
so they're
And
not even a full year apart. I've got two sets of cousins that are that way. They stay the same age for a few days.
yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So then you had a son. So now you've
Hmm.
got two children. You're
Yes.
24, 25 now.
Yes.
And you're
And
okay.
everything seems to be going okay. I was with their father. We were together talking about getting married and everything. And, my mood was okay because I was happy. I had children, my children to love. And, so, but then when we broke up and I had my third daughter and my son, and with both of them, I had postpartum depression. And so that spiraled the depression even worse.
Mm. So you had the postpartum after having your last two children, right?
Yes.
And so can you talk a little bit about, like, for those who don't have an experience at all with postpartum depression, can you
Hmm.
share a little bit about what your experiences were and how did you know
Hmm.
that you had postpartum depression and how did you deal with it?
Yes. Well, with my daughter, I was really sad, crying. I couldn't stop crying. Couldn't figure out, why the baby was crying. I thought it was something was wrong with the baby. And with my son, the last son, it got really serious because I had got into a really, really bad depression, and I thought about taking my life, and I
Mm,
was going to take their life as well,
mm.
because I was just really, really depressed, and I was just so confused and feeling really, really down. So I said that I was going to attempt to take my life and take theirs. And so my mom came and got me, and I stayed with her until I started to feel a little better.
So I've always wondered, when you see, you read about stories or you see these types of stories where moms go through such severe postpartum depression that they would actually consider taking their own lives as well as their kids' lives. And you're saying that you can relate to those feelings because you were feeling that way
Yes.
yourself, and so deep down inside, do you feel like if you did not have like your mom to like intervene, you would have followed through with those feelings and thoughts?
Yes, at that time, that night. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that particular
So
time.
that's how you were feeling.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. I'm so grateful though that that's not what I just don't believe that God allowed the enemies that attacked your mind to think that win. And I'm grateful for that. You're living proof that the enemy
Hmm.
did not win. In
Yes.
that moment, the enemy did not win when you were molested as a child. He didn't win when things happened to you again as a teenager. Things
Yes.
continue to happen to you throughout life, and so now we are four kids. And is your situation? Do you have help? Do you have the father helping with any of the children? How,
Um,
how are
the
things turning out for you from that perspective at this point?
well, the older two, they're older. They're 25 and 26, but their
Okay,
dad was in their life. But the two youngest ones, they're not in the picture.
okay. And
Hmm.
so you were doing that on your own
Yes.
with postpartum depression.
Yes. Hmm.
So once you stayed with your mom and you pulled yourself out of that, or what pulled you out of that state of depression?
I believe that's when I first saw my doctor, and they prescribed me with some depression medicine. And I took it for a little while, and then things started, going back to, I started feeling a little bit leveled. And, so I moved back into my own place, and, I raised the children, went on normal functioning. But I had my days, my oldest daughter, she's my best friend. So she was there. She knew how to function around me. Like, when mommy's having a bad day, so I have to take care of the house. She was just like the second mom. She handled all the stuff. And when mommy wasn't having a good day, because like I said, I had flare-ups, it's up and down, and I didn't stay on my medication like I was supposed to. I was off and on.
Wow, but your oldest daughter was like an angel. You know
Yes.
that, right?
Yes.
Mm. God gives you what you need when you need it, and He knew that you would need her.
Yes.
Mm. Okay, and okay, we. I try to take you through, or our viewers and listeners through a timeline. So
Mm-hmm.
now you're 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 off of the medication. You're still on them, or you said you were, you was back off and on, off and on. Tell
Off
us
and on.
about the point at which you felt like you no longer needed the medication, or is that the case? If that was ever the case.
No, well, this last time, well, over the years, like I said, I was back and forth taking it. And, I struggled with it really hard because, like I said, in the Black community, at church, you're taught, that's um, like a cliche, you don't need the medicine, you have to pray to God and ask God to heal you. And so I was wrestling back and forth with myself, like, should I take the medicine? I shouldn't take the medicine. I can do it myself. I can do this. I can get better. And so I was off and on. So it was like a roller coaster. I was up and down, and maybe back in 2018, 2017, I really they diagnosed me with bipolar. And yeah, and I was really having really suicidal thoughts again, really bad. And I went to my doctor, and I told my doctor that I was having the suicidal thoughts, and she admitted me into the psych ward, and I was there for a week. And they they made sure I took my medicine then, and I had to stay there, and I had to promise to go to an outpatient in order for me to get out. So I stayed in there for a week, and I got out, and like I said, things went back the same way. I was just going to see a psychiatrist. I wasn't seeing a therapist. She would just write me the prescriptions, the medicine, and like I said, it just fluctuated up and down. I was like a roller coaster, and I really, really never dealt with the trauma. I never really dealt with the healing. I never dealt with anything. So it stayed with me. And just this last year, or 2018, I lost my job because I got depressed again, really depressed. And I started having insomnia really bad, and I couldn't sleep for days at a time. And I started being late to work, and they let me go after 13 years. Yeah. So with that, I spiraled into an even deeper depression. And I think that was the last straw. I was really fed up. I was just tired. I was tired of the roller coaster, the back and forth. And this time I decided that I was going to take my life, but I was not going to hurt the kids, but I was going to take my life. So I starved myself for 30 days. I did not eat. I did not drink. And my daughter, my oldest daughter, she found me. I had went into cardiac arrest, and they rushed me to the to the hospital, and I was on life support for about a month and a half, and I had COVID. And but yeah, all my body fluid, all my blood, everything had depleted, and I had just gave up. I didn't want to fight anymore. I lost my will to live, and I said I thought I would be better off. And so that's what happened.
Mm, 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 mm. Wow. Wow. Whew. And so, how did you get through that? Or did you?
It's grace of God, because like the doctor said that my oldest daughter, if she had not, and when I mean I was in the room, I did not come out of the room. I didn't get out of bed. I stopped bathing. I stopped doing my hair. I stopped living. And my daughter said she was just preparing me to die. She was preparing me. She had already prepared herself for me to die. And the doctors told my mom that if she had not bought me the water in there for me to drink, I would have not have made it past the 30 days.
Wow.
But, I was already, the only thing that I held on to, and it gave me the will to live, is because when I was in the coma, well, like I said, my daughter came in and found me, and I had went into cardiac arrest. But when I was in the hospital, the only voice I heard was my daughter voice saying, "Mommy, please come back. I need you." And so that's what made me fight to come back.
Now, this was your older daughter that came to you.
Yes.
This is the child you had when the doctors told you couldn't have kids, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know, and it's not that important for the purposes of this conversation, but I don't know if you've ever heard of or read stories in the Bible about women who were barren women, and the first child that they have when their womb is open is
Mm-hmm.
always a very, very special child with a special mission, a special purpose.
Yes.
You do
Yes.
that, right?
I do. Mm-hmm. Yes. And she is very special. She's, like I said, she is my guardian angel. She's my best friend. She's my everything. And I know that, but with God and her, I know that I would not have been here. But she did everything she could do, because they lived with me, but she did everything she knew how to do to keep me alive in the room.
Praise God for her.
Yeah.
God knew you needed
Mm-hmm.
your angel, and
Yeah.
not to take away from the special uniqueness of your other children,
Mm-hmm.
but there is something different about a child born to a barren woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's scripture. That's not me saying that. Anybody who doesn't know, they can go and read it. It's throughout the Bible. So
Yes.
um I want to ask, I heard you say a lot about how, because you were raised in the church and around a lot of people that were, in the church heavily, that you would always continuously hear about, like, you don't need medication for your mental health. You don't need, these are bad spirits that you can, have God have you deliver you from.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind me asking, what do you believe about that? What are your thoughts about that?
I believe that mental health is just like any other disease, as far as diabetes or whatever. But um, I don't. I used to believe that maybe it was something wrong with me. Maybe I was demonic. Maybe that I had no purpose. Maybe something was really wrong with me. Because I've heard it so much.
Mm-hmm.
But now I know that that's not true. There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with you being depressed. Depression is real. It's nothing. It's nothing demonic. It's not a spirit or anything. People still need to have someone to talk to, and it's okay to take medication for it now. It's okay to take medicine, just like you do any other disease.
So where are you now with your mental health, your physical health? Where are things now? Like you went through something very traumatic and you stayed in a coma or on life support for over a month.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
now you come back to the real world, and how the things happen for you with like I said, with your mental health as well as your physical health.
Mm-hmm. Well, at first I had to learn how to walk again, eat, do everything that daily routines every day. I had to do that because I weighed 120 and I got down to 60 pounds. Um, so
You were
right now,
60 pounds as an adult?
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, I had to, yes, 60 pounds. My daughter said I was a bag of bones. She just said the room smelled like death. That's the way she could describe the room. And like I said, I had so many people coming trying to get me, well, let me run it back. My daughter tried to call the paramedics and have them come out to take me to the emergency room, but I refused treatment. And so everybody came to my house to try to get me to leave, but I just wanted to die. I didn't want to be here anymore. I gave up. I did not want to fight anymore. I just wanted to be left alone and just to let me die in peace. And, you know, and then that's what happened. You know, my mom said she prayed and said, God, whatever you have to do to get her out of this room, then do it. And that morning, I went into cardiac arrest. And then the paramedics was able to take me out.
Throughout any of that time, were you a praying woman? Were you asking God to deliver you from what you were feeling? Or had you really given up on prayers and everything at that point?
At first, I was praying and asking God, but it just seemed like God was not listening. It was like I felt like I was being punished for something. I don't know why I was feeling. It was just like I was just tired, and I'm like, God, you know, you're not listening to me. You know, I got mad at God at one point. I was mad at God at one point, and I said, you know what? I'm not praying at all. I stopped praying. I stopped reading my Bible. I stopped doing everything. You know, and like I said, I did not talk. I did not talk for those 30 days. I did not talk. I did not move. I didn't get out of bed, and I just gave up.
So once you got released from the hospital, tell me
Um,
how life looked for you after that.
well, when I woke up and, they told me at first I thought I was already gone. But when I woke up and realized that I had made it, I was really thankful, because I guess I did at one time want to die and end it, but I really just wanted the pain to stop because I was in so much pain. I was hurting and I was in so much pain and I just wanted it to stop. And so if that meant to end it, then that's what it meant. And so, but when I woke up and saw that I had made it, I was just so happy. And when I saw my daughter's face and all my children's face, that's what made it even better. Like I made it. And I had to stay, like I said, in the rehabilitation center for about a month or two. And when I came home to see them, it was just different. I had a new look on life, like I want to live for my children,
I swear, I feel like that's God taking over at that point and said no more because, I have my own, my own feelings about like what was attacking you throughout those years, and I just feel like God stepped in, honey, and
Mm.
took over,
Yes.
and I'm so grateful that you were able to receive Him
Mm-hmm.
and that you are now able to be thankful and grateful for your
Yes.
life. Right?
Yes.
It's truly something to be grateful for.
Yes.
And your life has taken you on a tumultuous journey, but you're
Yes.
still here,
Mm-hmm.
still beautiful,
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
still have your children.
Yes.
And did you say you're a grandma too?
Yes. I have two grandsons.
And you have grandsons.
Yes.
So once you got home from the hospital, how did you begin to and what year was this? So, because now we're in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
When did you get home from the hospital and have to start rebuilding your life?
I want to say it was after Mother's Day of 2021. It was like,
Okay.
May or June, June of 2022. I'm sorry, 2020. I'm sorry, 2021.
Right. This is after the pandemic. And
Yeah.
so, did you have residual health issues as a result of what you went through?
Yes. Like I said, I had to learn how to walk again. So my legs were I had to walk in a wheelchair. And my legs were kind of weak. And I also went into stage 5 kidney failure. So my kidneys are no longer functioning. I'm on dialysis. And I have congestive heart failure because I also had COVID too as well. So
So your dialysis is a direct result of you trying to take your life and what it did to your body. Is
but
that correct?
I had I had stage 4 since I was 23, I think 24, stage 4, it was stable. And so when they said I guess because I did not eat and I starved all my um, organs or whatever, and the cardiac arrest and then the COVID, pneumonia, all that just took a toll on my body and it caused it to go to stage 5. So right now I'm currently on dialysis, but I'm just happy to still be here. You know, I'm happy to be here, and I'll take that any day.
And so what does stage 5 dialysis mean for those of us who may not understand what you're going through?
Okay. Right now I live on a machine, and the machine is what keeps me alive. And I'll be on it until I receive a kidney. And so it cleans out my blood, and it cleans out the waste and toxic out of my blood that normal people's kidneys will clean out.
Right. So are you on a list for a kidney?
Right now I'm in the process of trying to get on it. I'm going through the process now. You know, you have to do testing, and I have to also find some live donors that's willing to donate to me.
Yeah. Some people that may be a match.
Yes.
Woo, honey. But to God be the glory, like you said.
Yes.
You were almost not here.
Yes. Yeah.
But you are.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for your life, and I'm thankful that I now get to know you, because someone with your strength too, you just, I hope people don't judge you for why you gave up, you tried to give up, because no one knows what it was like, I'm sure, to walk in your shoes from childhood and teenager, all the things that you had to go through to make you feel like you wanted your life to be over. So I hope that you're not ever judged by that. No one can ever say walked in your shoes.
Yes.
So
yes.
So anyway, okay. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get really emotional, but again, it's just me thinking about how good God is and how He spared your life and how much you have gone through. So I just, I just feel for you, but at the same time, I'm just rejoicing with you, because the triumph for you is that you're still here.
Yes.
And that now you're able to be thankful for your life, and you're able to praise God for every day that you continue to get.
Yes.
Like I said,
I'm happy when I see the sun. I'm happy when I wake up and just see the sun.
I was going to say, how has what happened to you, all of it, changed your perspective or your outlook on just life in general, and how you feel about, just your spirit in general?
Like I said, I live, I try not to let anything upset me, anybody bother me, because I just remember that I could have been gone, I could be gone now. And I try to tell, my children, love on each other, love each other, love people, because in an instance, anybody, you can be gone in 1 second, and I just take the life one day at a time,
Yeah. One day at a time, honey. And so is the medical outlook for you that you won't get better unless you get a kidney, or is there a possibility? I just happen to believe that with God in your life, honey, we just don't know, anything is possible, but based on what they're saying.
Yeah, based on what they're saying. Yeah, based on what they're saying, that the dialysis machine is my lifeline, and without it, I go 3 times a week, 3 days out of the week, and without it, then I will not live. But I believe God to heal me just like He healed me before, and I'm going to get a kidney, or I'm going to be healed from the kidney disease. So this is just another test that God is taking me through.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I was trying to pull out of you. Yes, that's it. That's the right answer right there. That's it right there. And either way, however He sees fit, Lord, if you see fit for her to have a new kidney from an amazing donor, then let it be so, and that operation will go smoothly, and you will be fully restored. And Lord, if you want her to have her kidneys that she was born with restored, then let that be so, Lord.
Yes.
And let's touch and agree.
Yes. Amen.
I just want to thank you again for you being so brave to tell your story. I see the comments on here of people admiring you,
Thank
and
you.
you have filled my heart. I know that you have filled my heart, and I pray that you have touched at least one life with your
Yes.
story tonight, of someone who has either gone through child molestation. That's a violation that nobody should ever have to go through.
Yes.
Someone who has been violated as a teenager, or someone who has gone through the medical challenges that you have faced. You faced medical challenges since you were in your 20s.
Yes.
In your 20s.
Yes.
So listen, my husband is on here, very brave sister. Yes, yes, she
Thank
is. You are
you.
very brave, and you are continuing. So you're not even able to work at this point anymore,
No,
right?
not right now. No.
Yeah.
hmm
Well, honey, I cannot wait for us to talk again
Yes.
you get once you have the next report that we're going to get,
hmm
about how your condition has improved, because either God has healed your own kidneys, or because we got a donor that
Yes.
matches, and it's going to be all good either way.
Yes.
I'm very grateful for your life.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much. And if there's anything, and I mean anything that I can do for with my platform, or just as a woman to woman,
hmm
please let me know.
All right, I will.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So before I tune off, you all, I will say again, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Trauma to Triumph Tuesdays. As per usual, tonight's episode was very, very powerful. You always see how God shows up in these situations. Always, He's always there, you all, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you for those who have donated to this project. Thank you for those who have prayed for me to continue this mission to heal so many lives through the sharing of our powerful testimonies and our stories. If you have a story to submit, please do so on my website. That information is www.trauma, the number 2, triumph.com. My email is trauma, the number 2, triumph, DOC. No, the email is info at trauma, the number 2, triumph, DOC.com. And you can DM me. If you know someone that wants to share a story that you can recommend, please do that as well. And yeah, let's continue to keep this movement going. We are going to heal millions of lives through the sharing of our stories, you all. And eventually, guess we're going to have Oprah on this show. We're going to have Viola Davis. We're going to have Taraji on the show. We're going to have Shania Twain. Listen, Queen Latifah, I've already claimed we're going to have these stories continuing with these amazing women, and maybe even sprinkle in some men, because guess what? There are lots of men who have gone through trauma at the hands of a woman. There are lots of men who've gone through trauma because of the woman who raised him. So there may be some stories from men that we may want to hear that will heal other men. So stay tuned for more. Next Tuesday, we will be back. Hey, Coach Kelly. We will be back on here next Tuesday with another amazing story of how we turned trauma into triumph. Thank you all, and I'll see y'all next Tuesday. Bye.
Okay.